Hi, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of our podcast here at Eightfold Coach. I'm Mia, and this is Alberto, your business coach. So, Alberto, a lot of business owners struggle to scale their business, and sometimes they even feel trapped by them. Where should they start?
That's actually a great question. First thing we have to understand is process and structure. So when most companies start because of a passion, right? So you're probably a great coffee maker, a great baker, and you want to start your own shop. But then you start realizing that, everything falls under you. And the first tip I can give to entrepreneurs is figure out your process and figure out your structure.
So, what's the first step in creating that structure?
The first step is to map out your process, your workflow, and your hierarchy. So, in that way, you understand who should be doing what should be doing what, and how to measure results.
That makes sense. So, in that case, if the owner is doing everything, it's good to map out everything for them to be able to see all those hats.
Correct. And the most important part is that it creates clarity and gives accountability. The hard part of being an entrepreneur is that sometimes you wish that the day was longer than 24 hours, but the reality is it is only 24 hours. So the most important skill you have to have is to understand clarity of priorities. And so having that mapped out, it really helps you understand what you should be tackling.
Okay, so we have the organizational framework. Now, let's talk about the person on top, the owner. What are their main responsibilities?
So depends on the scale of the business. The owner is wearing multiple hats. He has to be the chief creative officer. He has to be the financial officer, has to be the strategy officer. He has to be the one that understands the numbers, the one that has the vision, and the one that's executing. And that may feel like it's overwhelming, and most business will fail because it's just a heavy load to carry. So if you have that organizational framework, your process mapped out, it gives you more clarity to understand how to delegate them.
What's the biggest mistake you see business owners making here?
They really get carried in the day to day putting out fire. And then at the end of the day, they forget they have to be the manager and run a business as well. And so, in a blink of eye, if you're a baker and you're worried about the consistency of your product, you just lost the whole day. But bills have to be paid, teams have to be managed, clients has to be serviced. And so that's one of the biggest mistakes the business owners do is that they get carried away with the day-to-day, putting out fire.
You mentioned running the business. How does strategy work in that?
So the challenging part of a business owner when it comes down to strategy is to have the vision on where does he want to take or she wants to take the business. What's the vision for the next 5 years? Are we talking about like scaling the business to the next $1 million? But if you're a bakery, can you actually do $1 million in a small bakery shop? Do you have the capacity for that, right? So you have to really think about how does that vision will impact in your day to day. So if you want to grow to $1 million, but your current location doesn't have capacity, that means you have to either A, open a second store, or B, should you consider like franchising, right? Or C, should you consider hiring a professional management team to run multiple stores? That's a question between McDonald's franchises or Chick-fil-A store ownerships or a family legacy with like 10 stores.
So it's about being proactive instead of reactive?
Always, when you're proactive, it gives you clarity in terms of what your priorities. And being proactive means that you understand your finances, and your finances will help you understand your priorities.
You mentioned finances. How important is that for a business owner?
I would say it's in the gamut of all the things that you have to have from, passion to your business, vision to where you go. Finances is where you pave the way to your dreams come true.
So it basically empowers you, even if you have an accountant.
Even if you have an accountant, the accountant will not have the insights that you need on the day to day, right? When an accountant's looking at profitability on the business, you're looking at what drives profitability in the business.
What is the connection between strategy and action in the business?
I would say strategy is putting your dreams into plans. And in order to your dreams come true, these plans have to be realized. And so action in the end of the day is everything. But again, if you have just action and you don't have the strategy, sometimes that let's go attitude will actually drive you into insanity because in the end of the day, you don't know why you're working so hard or how to get yourself out of that hole.
So, what business owners could do to start implementing this today?
I would say understand your finances, go back to your hierarchy, your workflow, understand the deliverables of each hierarchy and each workflow so that you understand the playbook of every step from A to B and in the fastest possible way, try to get yourself out of that process. So if you become master of baking, hire a sous chef so that person can run your kitchen. If you become a master of sales and marketing, hire a head of business development. And so you can spend time trying to figure out all the problems that are happening in your business and you know how to manage the work. And so you're never feeling like you're drowning.
Yeah, that's great. Where can people learn more about your coaching and even schedule a consultation with you?
Well, don't forget to follow, subscribe us, and go to our website down below and send us a message.
Yep. Thank you for watching us. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you in the next video.